today my special guest is, I say he's history in the making.
Oh.
Like definitely history in the making. An African American, young,
Very young.
tender,
Tender.
baby boy, animator, content creator. When it comes to the cartoons, you guys, we have Sterling, who is definitely in these streets hustling, from CollectorCon to Sony, VH1, assisting and helping on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, Sterling, man, like what don't you do?
Oh my God, I do everything.
Like, you need to be seen. You need to be heard.
That.
Like, this is amazing. Not many of us are, breaking this door down.
I agree with you. Like, I'm definitely not a rapper, singer. I would love to be those things,
okay.
but I'm not. and I don't play sports at all. So I feel like when it does come to like animation and books or stuff that have to do with like cartoons, that is a genre that like black people don't occupy.
Right.
Don't occupy those spaces. So
I always like to ask my guests who they are. We know how social media can portray how we tend not to put too much of ourselves out there. But who's Sterling?
Who's me personally?
Yes.
Okay, because I definitely don't let people know that. I would say I'm very goofy. I'm very loving. I'm very spiritual, not religious, but very spiritual. So meaning that I really honor and try to represent and try to push out like God's love. Like His love is unconditional, not judgmental. I am human, so I'm not perfect, but I do try to be forgiving to the best of my ability, and patient. So I think that would describe me. And like I said, I'm very I just love to have fun and just love to enjoy life, and I'm very optimistic.
Definitely, we can see all that with your characters. Definitely with Coco, Shoe. Don Kappa.
Okay, yeah, he's in the bag somewhere.
Listen, Don Kappa in the bag, Sterling in the bag. Listen, we are in the bag. So, what made you want to jump into this realm? Again, like you said, you're not a rapper, you're not a stylist, you're not a actor. Like you're in your own lane. Like, what made you get into this lane?
Well, I grew up in the '90s, so I watched Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, and I'm trying to think. I mean, all those great cartoons in the '90s. So just watching them and already having like that innate ability to draw, even if kids didn't like necessarily do art, I feel like when you're watching your characters, you do just naturally like kind of like draw them. So just wanting to do that, and then when I started like studying like, okay, Pokemon is actually like a business. It's not just like the cartoons. Like there's people that are making like a livelihood off of it. So that's when I figured, okay, well, you know what? I think when I grow up, I want to actually pursue this. I don't know. I mean, I was a kid, so I'm like, I don't even know how, but I want to get into making my own cartoons and really like, I want to live life doing what I love to do, So that was, it was a long road to get there. And it's a lot of things that still aren't easy that I face, but that definitely was something that just as a young kid I wanted to just really pursue that.
Take us back to that time where you created your first cartoon, your first character. Let's say first character. Like, how was the making of this character? Who was this character?
Oh,
wow.
What
did you draw, the inspiration from?
Okay, so I'll do it before even these characters. So when I was like in maybe elementary school, I would create these characters. They were really based off of like books I would read. Like I was into Captain Underpants. You know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, Captain Underpants. So I would draw like it was this character called Bid Boy. So he would fight with Nightlight. I still have all those pages. They're like in my garage, tucked off somewhere. But I would actually like draw them online, like the regular line, like loose leaf paper. And my mom actually would take me to like Staples or Office Depot, whatever, and we would print the copies out, and I would sell them to the kids in the classroom.
Okay, so you been hustling.
That's what I did as a young kid. Now, eventually they did stop me because you can't be selling stuff to kids in the class. But they were buying them. I mean, they weren't expensive. They were probably like $1 or a couple cents or something. But yeah, they were buying them. So that's really how I started off doing that.
Do you think that's when you knew like, yo, this is my calling, or this is like what I'm gonna stay true to? Because I feel like as millennials, we, test different waters to see, what's best for us. So
what sticks.
At that time, was that, your introduction to like, yeah, this is it?
I can't say that, but I will say I just always just had that just feeling that this is just what I want to do. Like, I guess I've never. It's weird, like that's like what you say. Usually you do test different things, and I've done like try to do like modeling before and different things, but I always had that feeling like just drawing. This is just all I know.
How did you learn how to draw?
I just picked up a crayon. Like I just remember being like 4 or 5 and just picking up a crayon and just drawing.
Honey, I cannot draw. Listen, I can draw like little. I do like a half watermelon for the face and like some spaghetti for the hair. But
okay.
You are going like in depth with these characters. Are any of them influenced from like Pokemon and?
Oh, definitely. These spirits definitely is homage to Pokemon for sure. I think that's evident. But also during that time that Pokemon came out, there actually were a lot of other like monster like tamer series. They just weren't as popular, and I don't think they had the marketing push honestly that Pokemon did, and I don't think their characters were as memorable as well, so they just didn't stand the test of time. But like there's other series like Monster Rancher, which I used to love, Beyblade, which is kind of still popular, Yu-Gi-Oh, definitely Digimon, and a slew of others that aren't as big, but definitely Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, those are definitely my influences for sure.
So you went with the name D Spirits. I was like, I would think that, right? Like, I'm thinking like,
what is
so I'm looking for something regarding Sterling. I'm
like, not vitamin D.
I'm like, all right, it's Sterling Spirits. Like, how did D Spirit, like, how did you cultivate this name?
That would have been a good name, maybe. Well, the D stands for digital, so like it has to do with like the story and stuff. Like they're playing like D Spirits is more like a virtual game than the like actual cartoon. Excuse me. So that's kind of like what the D stands for, digital spirits, like digital monsters.
Right. Okay. Please break it down. I was in my head like how like going through social media. I'm like, where is this? Bam, y'all. Simple. So simple. So with D Spirits, you have I would say D Spirits is the umbrella, and then everything else is falling, such as these cartoon characters. We have the cards. We have the books. Like.
Yeah, actually, I don't. You know what? It didn't start off that way, and I still don't look at it like that. I think that it's crazy because when I like envisioned these spirits, initially I wanted to do like a video game of it, and that's so damn expensive to even do a video game, and it takes a lot of time. So I never thought I would be able to do that. Even a card game, I never really thought I could do that either. So I really thought that when I did like Happy Hair or the other stuff that came before these spirits, maybe that would kind of like help me fund these spirits, which was like my biggest idea, I feel like. But we did the Kickstarter for these spirits. It wound up becoming like a very huge success with that, and it's like your plans, like that's why I go back into spirituality. Like you never know your plans versus like what God's plans are for.
Serious.
So things just turned out differently, and it's just like versus like fighting it and be like, oh, this wasn't how I wanted it. It's just like you just go with the flow and just like move accordingly,
Listen, well, you're definitely going with the flow, but as an American animator, like how do you keep up with the trends?
Well, actually being active on social media, I think it's I am a little different in the fact that I actually do like I'm actively like into pop culture. So I'm not just like introverted. I'm not just like watching from an ivory tower. Like I'm actually like into like okay like what's going on. Like even outside of these spirits, like when I was like animating, I feel like even when I landed jobs for like Sony and different reality stars and stuff like that, I was like animating like Nicki Minaj music videos, 6ix9ine music videos, and not officially, but just you know as a fan. But those things were a part of pop culture, and that did help me like get eyes on what I was doing. So I feel like just like watching what's going on, like you can't be so stuck in your ways that like even now I'm like we're expanding and we're doing like TikTok for these spirits, and our like TikTok has gotten like 11,000 followers in under a month, and our videos are like in the hundreds of thousands. So just really knowing like okay where's people's attention at, you know, and captivating on where people's attention is going.
Listening to you, I want to piggyback and say also knowing our audience, knowing our target audience is very important.
That is very important.
You know, as someone that has a brand and want this brand to stick around, you have to know your target audience. Going into brand building and marketing, something that, you know, we were talking, you know, behind the cameras, what do you think would be the best practices when it comes to having a brand and marketing?
Yeah, number one, I definitely say you have to be consistent. That's number one. Without consistency, like as far as putting out content, you don't even have anything to work with. So you can't even market anything when you don't have anything to work with. So that's number one. And then I feel like once your business starts expanding, getting with someone who does understand like social media, does understand like, okay, this is how reels work, this is how analytics work, and this is tapping more to if you want to start paying like for ads and things like that. But I would say consistency is number one. I think people aren't like consistent enough. Like you really have to push out content. It doesn't even matter if you start off getting like 2 views, 5 views, 10 views. Like eventually that builds. Like, but you just can't stop. Like it's so hard because it's like damn. Like you be wanting like this is such a good video. I want 1 million views on this one video, but it just doesn't work like that. Like you really just have to like keep literally like banging with a hammer until something breaks. And patience.
Woo!
I would say that, and then definitely like you said, knowing your audience, knowing what your audience likes, and knowing your target demographic, your niche, and knowing like what they're interested in. I mean, you can easily look at other peers or other like not competitors, but you know, other people that are in your same genre. Look at the ones that have become successful, like and study like okay, their format, their template, what they have been doing to kind of like get it, and not necessarily copy directly off them, but put you in it, put your own twist on it, you know, and make it your own and try to make it bigger than what they're doing.
Listen, well, D Spirits is making it bigger than what everybody else is doing. So like get into like what all do we have here? You have the characters, you have the cards. How do you I was trying to get into the cards. I was like, okay, so I have 1,300 points. If I like how do you play? How do you get into the like what's the rules of the game?
Okay, so it's really simple. It's really every D spirit, which are like the creatures, they have attack and defense. And then they also have special abilities which activate when they're usually played on the field. But it's really just like which D spirit has, like if you have higher attack, then you destroy the other one. But if the other one does have enough, like if it has higher defense, then it can endure the attack so it doesn't get destroyed. But the extra abilities that each creature has like puts a extra spin on the game. So each character has like their own like unique thing that they can add to the game.
I have Banana. Oh, that's a banana. Yeah, banana.
It's like a banana and a nerd.
Y'all see Johneri'O really? Okay. So, it says you can discard a full type D spirit from your hand to negate Banana from being destroyed in battle. Using the ability, you do not have to pay Banana's SP cost. Then it has at the bottom 1400/1300 immune. Explain it to me.
Okay, so and basically his ability, if you discard a food, like each D spirit has a type. Like we have fire, water, but then we also have like some more funny types like food, spooky, whatever. So if you discard like a food type, basically you're stopping him from being destroyed in battle. So that's like the extra effect that like some of them have. Like it's like, okay, like normally it would be destroyed, but if you do that, then it's not destroyed.
Okay, all right. And the points, are these points or?
Yeah, those are points. So those are like the 14, that's the attack because it has like a little sword next to it, and then the 13 is the defense. That's like with the little shield next to it as well.
How long does it take for someone to learn something like this? Because I mean, I'm intrigued.
The game is actually very simple.
I would be like, yeah, I ate you.
Okay, the game is simple. I really want it to be like, it's not Uno, of course, but I really want it to be like really simple that like somebody can just really just pick it up and just start playing. We do have like tutorials on the D-Spirits website and the D-Spirits YouTube page. It's an animated tutorial, so anybody can pick it up and watch it and learn how to play. Like really, like someone that's like 8 years old probably can learn to play the game. It's very easy.
Okay, so that's good. It is kid friendly.
It is it's family friendly.
I was looking at checking out your names of your characters.
Okay.
Do
you know how to pronounce them?
Listen, we about to get into it.
We about to see.
Listen, so we have Coco, who reminds me of
Coco Calypso.
Yes, yeah. I didn't give them nicknames, but who reminds me of Marilyn Monroe.
Really?
Yes, the vibe. I was like, when I saw the character, the cartoon, I was like, I wonder if that inspiration was there, or if any other of your other inspirations were from like actual individuals that you know or celebrities. Like, where do you pull the names from and their powers?
Yeah, let's break them down. You have a few of them. Okay, so first up, so you said Coco. So yes. Coco is a direct tribute to Betty Boop. If you, well, a lot of people do know the story. If you know the story of Betty Boop, you'll know the history of Betty Boop. She actually was inspired. Okay, let's get this correct. So the sound, her voice, like the singing voice, they modeled it after Caucasian white woman. I forget her name, but they modeled it off of her voice. She tried to sue the animation company or studio because they were saying that they stole her likeness to Betty Boop. When they started actually digging into it, they found that she actually stole herself from a black woman by the name of Baby Esther. So that's really the origin of Betty Boop's voice. Even as far as the look back then, I mean, they all had like the waves and the finger waves and stuff like that. So Coco Calypso, I created her because it was kind of like us taking back our history, like what belongs to us. So that's really like what she embodies. We haven't done anything animated with her yet, but I really want to because every time I post her, like the amount of women that see her, they just like, oh my god, it's like a black Betty Boop, but they know like the history, of it, and they just go crazy about it. So I definitely want to do some stuff for her soon.
Definitely about the boob. I was like, okay, body, Adi.
Yeah, she has a body.
Listen, Don Kappa.
Don Kappa, he's down here. Let me grab him. So he's a part of the Fantastic Telefolklore. That was my first series that I actually published. I would say he's grumpy. He's about money. He doesn't care. In the story, basically, they live in a kingdom where music is forbidden. So Chu and Nejitama down here, they want to like sing and get into music, and he like couldn't really care less about that. He just wants to just run his business, keep his shop open, and make his coins.
Okay, listen, with the bag on him. Get your bag.
With the bag, okay. Chu.
Oh, damn, I was like, Johneri'O gonna say, all right, Chu.
Yeah, Chu, he's right here. He's from the same series. I would say he's very mild-mannered, very calm. I base him because like the Japanese sound effect that a mouse makes is Chu. So that's how they came up with Pikachu, which is like electric mouse. So
okay, education.
So I named mine Chew, and he's a cool character. I feel like out of all three of him, Neji, and Don Kappa, he's the most like me. Very calm, very like nice and everything.
Okay, fly.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so listen, so this is we legit over here, legit, like literally from the conversations to actually, being page turners. Like, what's this process? Do you sit down and you really have to embody every character all at once?
It is. It's like acting. It's like it is kind of like acting, but it's not me. It's like I have to like envision myself in the character's shoes and like what they would say like during the adventure. But I haven't actually done a book in a while. I would love to do another one soon. But it's really just that actually is it is a fun process. But it does take time. You have to like sketch it out, then like fine tune it, type of script for the story, everything. So it does take time. But it is very fun. The Happy Hair book, that was my book I actually got. I was able to get in the school system south of Atlanta, so in the Henry County School. So definitely was happy about that, and looking forward to expanding the books as well.
Do you turn like your conversations or friends' conversations or other people's experiences? Do you like personify them for your books?
I wouldn't say for the books, but I definitely would say the characters. Like Neji, he's very goofy. I base him off of my dad, because my dad would he'll say some random stuff, and we'll be like, what? Like,
right.
What? Right. But he's very funny, so I definitely base him off my dad. And then one of the characters in D-Spirits, I base off of one of my best friends, my girlfriend, Asia. So yeah, so I kind of like I will base them off of people, but I haven't based them off of any conversations that me and my friends have had yet. Okay. That's probably a good thing.
a jaw easy.
Okay.
That's mine, y'all. Don't take it.
Give him some brains in that.
Give him some. Hey, yes. Pop culture. So, what advice would you give someone who is trying to embark into this journey that you're on?
If they're trying to do animation, I would say just jump head first into it. You know what? I actually want to be a little bit more broad than that. I think when it comes to just doing a business, something that I've noticed is people will hold off their dreams because their first jump into like building something, it isn't like what they envision the end goal. Meaning like they don't have the cannons, they don't have the latest and greatest equipment that costs thousands of dollars. But I always tell people like, hey, if you're trying to make content, you have a phone. You have internet. So those are your two gateways right there. There's nothing stopping you. Like even famous filmmakers, they'll say like, if you have, they didn't even have iPhones or anything back then. They had to like really get a camera and like record and make a tape, whatever. But they'll say like, if you have a camera, just film. Like it doesn't have to be like what you envision your end goal to be. But if you never get started with something, then it never gets started. And I think everybody's afraid of like failure. I think that's just like a human thing. But I really feel like an answer is better than no answer. So if you never get started, you never know if it's going to be a success. You never know if it's going to be a failure. You never know if it's going to be a yes or no. But at least if you get started, it's like, okay, you'll see what's happening. And if it is something that you are passionate about, don't stop. Just keep going.
Keep going. Listen, you heard it from Sterling himself. Listen, so we have a game, but right before we get into the game, so you always write about everybody else or your characters' adventures. What has been your craziest adventure?
Oh my God. I don't know. I stay in the house. I don't
Oh my God.
No. When I do go out, I do like to party. Now, when I do go out, I've had some adventures with my friends. I don't know if I want to share that. I want nobody to know me. But
no joke,
I'll just say that we ate something that we shouldn't have ate. or I ate something I shouldn't have ate. And it was by mistake. And I was toe up. I cannot move. I was like stuck. I would say that would probably be one of my craziest moments. Like drooling, like
oh yeah,
and then I saw people I knew and I felt so embarrassed. Like I had like an outer body experience. Like I knew what was going on, but I couldn't control it. So I'm like, oh shit, I look crazy. Like, so
snap out of it, dang, I can't.
So I will say that, yeah, that was crazy. So that happened a while ago. I'm always like, now I'm more conscious, like, okay, what I'm about to eat. But when you go to those, like, where were we at? We actually were at, I don't want to say, we were actually at a college homecoming. I'll just say that. And a very popular homecoming in Atlanta. And people be out there, like, grilling and making all type of stuff. And, like, when you're already under influence and they just like, oh, take this and eat it. You're like,
okay,
oh, okay.
Right. Honey, I had an experience like this last night, I think.
Oh, really?
And I made it. Who? Listen, y'all, I'm so excited to have Sterling on again. An American animator, you guys. Like, you don't see this.
A black animator.
You do not see this. Our culture, yo. So, talking about our culture and definitely the pop culture, how you been inspired as well. I have a game.
Okay, let's play.
So the name of this game is called Sterling Creates. Because Sterling creates. All right, so Sterling creates. So I'm going to give you a name of a celebrity.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me the name that you would give this celebrity along with the superpower.
Okay.
So you're going to create a cartoon of this celebrity.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. All right. So first person, Cardi B. And she just did the Baby Shark.
I named her Jabberjaws.
Okay. So we have Jabberjaws.
I named her Jabberjaws, and her power would be she talks in some type of something, and it confuses people.
Okay, all right. It sounds like a right niche. It sounds like a niche. All right. All right, we have
like that.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh my God. Ooh, Nicki, what would she be?
Yeah, a lot of things, right?
Nicki would be
Chinese.
Yeah, maybe I'll name her maybe Super Barb, Big Barb, something like that. And what would her power be? I don't know. I would make Nicki. I would turn her into like a Black Wonder Woman. Probably based off of her one of her old mixtapes.
Right.
Beam Me Up Scotty.
Yes.
So
when she had the bangs.
When she had the bangs and the curly with the little blonde. So I'll probably give her maybe laser vision or something like that.
Okay. Will Smith.
Well, oh my God, that's super slap. I think I definitely give him something when he raise it back and then he doing it, the hand gets big or something like like the Fantastic Four. The one that stretches, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Jada.
Oh my God. I would make Jada do something like she can lift up stuff with her brain, like very psychic, something like that. I don't know what name I would give her.
Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany, oh my God, I love Tiffany. What it look like? I think, what would I give her? I actually want to animate that moment that she did because it was actually pretty funny. I don't know what I would give Tiffany. Maybe I'll make her control Earth or something, like something that has to do with her, like throwing sand or dirt on people.
Okay, and last we have Kanye.
Oh my God. Kanye would be the villain. He would be. This is like
thinking about that.
Yeah, I could make. He's too good to. The material's too good to where I would make him a protagonist.
Right.
He would be like the master villain with all the plans, conducting everything. Yeah, he definitely. I don't know what his name would be or whatever, but he would be the schemer. He definitely.
The schemer. Okay, Con Schemer. Yeah.
Con Schemer. I like
schemer.
that.
No, thank you so much for coming on today. Your busy schedule. Listen, again, I am honored just to be in your presence and be in y'all presence. Like this is amazing. This is black excellence.
Oh, thank you.
This is greatness. Let everyone know how they can stay tuned to everything that you have going on there.
Yeah, you can follow me on Sterling Cartoons, everything. So Sterling Cartoons on Instagram, sterlingcartoons.com. And then if you come on Sterling Cartoons, you'll actually see the D-Spirits handle, which is in the bio. And it's D-Spirits Online. And that's on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, everything.
Speaking about that, what is next? Like, what's next?
What is next? You know what? I have a character called Faith McGrace, and she's of color, little black girl, but she has superpowers. She's able to like heal people's broken hearts and stuff like that. So the next step actually would be doing like a feature film with her, and I don't know like what platform it would be released on, but definitely want to push that and get into actually like filmmaking. So that's the next step for sure.
Okay, well listen you guys, Sterling has spoken. Listen, make sure you guys connect with Sterling. He gave you all his social media platforms and ways to connect with him. Make sure y'all do that right now. But you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been Johneri'O Scott. It's been real, not fake, you guys. And make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Alright, but before we go, I do want to give you a gift for coming out and coming out your busy schedule. So right quick, give you this. So I feel like
Christmas.
we don't celebrate each other as much as we need to. And again, this is amazing, bro. This is amazing. So toast to you.
Oh, is it a drink in here?
All of your endeavors.
You said toast, so I'm like, is there a bottle up in here? Because that is my favorite thing, okay? Oh, okay. This will be going by the end of the night.
Hey, listen.